We're talking about 9 patterns that many women experience, not to exploit them, but to understand them better. Because here's the thing, when we truly understand each other, we build stronger, more meaningful relationships. Now, before we jump in, let me be crystal clear about something. When I say weaknesses, I'm not talking about character flaws or things to take advantage of. I'm talking about emotional patterns, social tendencies, and psychological responses that many women share. Think of these as insights that can help you become a better partner, friend, or colleague. And guys, this isn't about manipulation. This is about empathy. This is about becoming the kind of man who truly gets it. So if you're here to learn how to be more understanding and supportive, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Number 1, the need for emotional validation. Here's something most men don't fully grasp. For many women, feeling heard and understood is often more important than having their problems solved. This isn't a weakness in the traditional sense, but it's a vulnerability that, when misunderstood, can create distance in relationships. Picture this scenario. Your girlfriend comes home after a tough day at work. She tells you about how her boss criticized her presentation in front of the entire team. Your first instinct? Jump into problem-solving mode. Well, next time you should, or have you tried? But here's what's happening in her mind. She's not necessarily looking for solutions right away. She's looking for someone to acknowledge how that felt. She wants to hear, "That sounds really frustrating," or "I can see why that would be upsetting." This need for emotional validation stems from how many women process experiences. They often work through problems by talking about them, by feeling understood first. Once they feel heard, then they're more open to solutions. The key here isn't to stop offering help. It's to validate first, then ask if she'd like your perspective on how to handle it. This simple shift can transform your interactions. Number 2, overthinking and analysis paralysis. If you've ever watched a woman spend 20 minutes deciding what to order at a restaurant she's been to 10 times, you've witnessed this in action. Many women have incredibly active minds that can turn a simple decision into a complex analysis of multiple variables. This tendency to overthink isn't about intelligence. In fact, it often comes from being highly intelligent and considering every possible outcome. But it can become a weakness when it leads to analysis paralysis or unnecessary stress. Take shopping for clothes, for example. While you might grab the first shirt that fits and looks decent, she might consider how it fits, what occasions she can wear it to, what shoes it goes with, whether the color works with her skin tone, if it's worth the price, and whether she already has something similar. This overthinking extends to bigger decisions too. Career moves, relationship choices, even vacation plans can become sources of extended contemplation. How can you help? Don't dismiss her process, but gently help her break things down. Ask questions like, "What's the most important factor here?" Or, "What would you tell a friend in this situation?" Sometimes talking through the overthinking with someone who listens without judgment can help her find clarity. Number 3, the comparison trap. Social media has amplified this tendency, but it's been around much longer. Many women struggle with comparing themselves to others, their appearance, their achievements, their relationships, their lifestyle choices. This isn't vanity. It often comes from societal pressures and messages about what women should be or achieve. From a young age, many women receive subtle and not-so-subtle messages about competing with each other, about measuring their worth against impossible standards. You might notice this when she scrolls through Instagram and suddenly feels bad about her own life, or when she compares your relationship to what she sees other couples posting online. Maybe she questions her career progress after hearing about a friend's promotion. The weakness here isn't the comparison itself, it's how it can steal joy from her own achievements and experiences. She might downplay her successes or feel inadequate despite doing amazingly well by any objective measure. Your role? Be the voice of reason and appreciation. Remind her of her unique strengths and accomplishments. Help her see that social media is a highlight reel, not reality. And most importantly, make sure she knows that you see and value her for who she is, not in comparison to anyone else. Number 4, difficulty with assertiveness. This one might surprise you, especially if you know some very confident women. But many women, even successful ones, struggle with being assertive in certain situations. This often shows up as difficulty saying no, avoiding conflict, or not advocating for themselves as strongly as they could. This pattern often develops from childhood messages about being nice and agreeable. Many girls are taught that being liked is more important than being respected, that keeping peace is better than standing up for themselves. You might see this when she agrees to take on extra work even when she's already overwhelmed, or when she doesn't speak up about something that bothers her until it becomes a bigger issue. Maybe she has trouble negotiating her salary or asking for what she deserves in various situations. The irony is that many women are incredibly strong advocates for others. They'll fight tooth and nail for their friends, their children, or their causes. But when it comes to advocating for themselves, they hesitate. How can you support her? Encourage her to speak up about her needs and wants. When she does assert herself, acknowledge and appreciate it. Help her practice difficult conversations if she asks. And never punish her for being assertive with you. That only reinforces the pattern. Number 5. Taking things personally. Here's a tendency that can create unnecessary stress and conflict. Many women have a heightened sensitivity to interpersonal dynamics and can interpret neutral situations as personal criticisms or rejections. If a coworker seems distant, she might wonder what she did wrong instead of considering that they might just be having a bad day. If you seem quiet or distracted, she might assume it's about something she said or did, rather than considering work stress or other factors. This isn't paranoia or insecurity necessarily. Women are often naturally attuned to social cues and relationship dynamics. They're usually quite accurate at reading people and situations. But sometimes this sensitivity can work against them, leading them to find personal meaning in things that aren't actually about them. For instance, if you have to cancel plans because something came up at work, she might initially feel like you're prioritizing everything else over her, even if logically she knows that's not true. The key to helping with this pattern is clear, direct communication. Don't make her guess what's going on with you. If you're stressed about work, just say so. If you need some quiet time to decompress, explain that. When she knows what's really happening, she's less likely to fill in the blanks with self-blame. Number 6. The perfectionism trap. Many women hold themselves to impossibly high standards. They want to excel at work, maintain perfect relationships, look great, keep an organized home, stay in shape, be great friends, and do it all with a smile. When they inevitably fall short of perfection, they can be incredibly hard on themselves. This perfectionism often stems from trying to have it all in a world that tells women they should be able to handle everything effortlessly. Social media makes this worse by showing curated versions of other people's lives that look flawless. You might notice this when she apologizes for the house being messy, even though it looks fine to you, or when she stresses about hosting dinner because everything has to be perfect. Maybe she works late to redo a project that's already good enough, or she won't leave the house without makeup even for a quick grocery run. The weakness here is that perfectionism can lead to burnout, anxiety, and never feeling satisfied with genuine accomplishments. She might achieve amazing things, but focus on the small imperfections instead of celebrating her successes. Your support matters enormously here. Praise effort over outcome. Point out when she's being too hard on herself. Help her see that good enough is often actually excellent. And model self-compassion in your own life. Show her that it's okay to be human and imperfect. Number 7. Emotional contagion. Women tend to be highly empathetic, which is generally a strength. But it can become a weakness when they absorb other people's emotions to an unhealthy degree. If you're stressed, she becomes stressed. If her friend is going through a breakup, she feels heartbroken too. This emotional contagion can be exhausting. She might carry the weight of everyone else's problems on her shoulders. She might have trouble distinguishing between her own feelings and the emotions she's picking up from others. You might notice this when she comes home drained after spending time with a negative coworker, or when she can't enjoy her own good day because someone else is having a bad one. Maybe she loses sleep worrying about problems that aren't even hers to solve. This tendency comes from a beautiful place, genuine care and empathy for others, but it can lead to emotional burnout and difficulty maintaining healthy boundaries. How can you help? Encourage her to notice when she's taking on emotions that aren't hers. Help her practice emotional boundaries, caring about someone without absorbing their feelings, and make sure your relationship is a place where she can recharge, not another source of emotional drain. Number 8. Seeking external approval. Many women struggle with looking to others for validation of their worth, decisions, and choices. This might show up as constantly asking, "Does this look okay?" or seeking reassurance about decisions they're perfectly capable of making themselves. This pattern often develops from societal messages that women's value comes from how others perceive them. From a young age, many girls learn that being liked and approved of is crucial for success and happiness. You might see this when she asks multiple people for their opinion on something before making a decision, or when she changes her mind about something she wanted because someone else disapproved. Maybe she posts a photo and then deletes it if it doesn't get enough likes, or she second-guesses her outfit based on a comment from a friend. The challenge with seeking external approval is that it puts her happiness and self-worth in other people's hands. It can also lead to people-pleasing behaviors that aren't authentic to who she really is. Your role here is to consistently reinforce that your approval and appreciation aren't conditional. Help her reconnect with her own inner voice and trust her instincts. When she asks for your opinion, sometimes ask her what she thinks first. Help her remember that she's the expert on her own life. Number 9. Difficulty compartmentalizing. Here's something many men do naturally that many women find challenging: compartmentalizing emotions and experiences. While you might be able to have a fight with your girlfriend in the morning and then focus completely on work, she might carry those feelings throughout the day. This isn't a character flaw. It's often a difference in how emotions are processed. Many women experience emotions in a more integrated way. A problem in one area of life can color their experience of other areas. For example, if she's worried about a family issue, she might have trouble fully enjoying a date night with you. If there's tension at work, she might seem distant at home, not because she doesn't want to be present, but because she's still processing those feelings. You might also notice this in how she brings up past issues during current disagreements. While you see each argument as separate, she might see them as connected patterns that need to be addressed together. Understanding this difference can help you be more patient and supportive. Don't expect her to just turn off her feelings about one situation to focus on another. Instead, acknowledge what she's dealing with and ask how you can help her work through it. So there you have it. 9 patterns that many women experience. But remember, these aren't universal truths, and they're certainly not permanent limitations. Every woman is unique, and these patterns can vary greatly from person to person. The goal isn't to use this knowledge to your advantage, but to become more understanding and supportive. When you truly get what someone is dealing with, you can respond with empathy instead of frustration. You can offer the right kind of support at the right time. And here's something important to remember. Men have their own patterns and vulnerabilities too. Healthy relationships are built on mutual understanding and support, not on one person having power over another. The strongest relationships happen when both people feel truly seen and accepted for who they are, including their challenges and growth areas. When you approach these patterns with curiosity and compassion instead of judgment, you create space for deeper connection and understanding. What do you think? Have you noticed any of these patterns in the women in your life? How have you learned to be more supportive and understanding? I'd love to hear about your experiences in the comments below. And if this video helped you gain some new insights, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more relationship and psychology content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.